Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL Super Tournament. I am Wolf, the lone wolf of GSL casting, and today we've got one more match. It's HongUn versus TSL Revival. HongUn, one of my favorite players. Loved him forever. He's a great player. And Revival showed us some awesome games. He took out Ensnare to get here, so he's a pretty awesome player himself, and it's going to be a pretty close match. The first map is going to be Crossfire again. I just want to tell you guys, I just met some fans in the audience of the GSL and said I had a little bit of trouble finding it. There is a guide on the website for getting here, so that's something to look up before you come here, because wouldn't want anyone to get lost on the way here. But you can come down to the studio here. We've got drinks. You can get some drinks. You can get some tea, get some water. Talk to Gom Girl. She's really nice. She's at the front desk. Nicest girl you'll ever meet. And you've got a lot of other foreign fans in the audience you can talk to too. So if you're in Korea and you feel kind of alone because you're one of the only foreigners, come down to the studio, because why not? There's a lot of foreigners you can talk to. Maybe make some friends. I've made friends. All right, first up, we've got HongUnPrime. He's been around for a long time. He did well in the open seasons as well, but was immediately into Code S. He went to the up and down matches there after losing in the round of 32, and in March did much better, making it all the way to the round of 8. Then in May last season, he got knocked out in the round of 32 again, but in his up and down matches, yet again, stayed in Code S. So HongUn, although he's had some scattered results here fairly recently, he's been doing pretty well. Did beat Moon to get here. So it was Moon's a pretty good Zerg player, so his PVZ is pretty solid. In fact, in the stats I looked up about HongUn, his win rate versus Zerg is about 65%. He's played against a lot of Zergs too. It's actually the matchup I think he's played the most often. And now we're going to take a look at TSL Revival. He hasn't had as many results because he's a fairly new up-and-coming player. He's still in Code A. Actually, I take that back. He actually was eliminated from Code A. He lost in the first round last season. Did make it to the round of 16 in March, but he did defeat Ensnare to get here. And in fact, he actually lost to Huck, if I remember correctly, in the round of 16 in March. That's who he lost to. So his win rate versus Protoss is not as solid as HongUn's is against Zerg. So he's got his work cut out for him here today, but he's on the team TSL, which has got a lot of great Protosses. He's got Tester, Trickster, whatever you want to call him, Salkisu, and Songho, of course. So those are some great Protosses to practice with. So we'll see if he's trained, if he's prepared well enough to take this match today. Look at some more results here on the screen. Now, as you can see, HongUn's most recent matches versus Zerg, he's got 77.8%, so that's a little bit higher than even what I told you, because that's just his recent matches. And versus Protoss at the bottom, Revival's recent matches, he hasn't been doing so well. Lost only one game, but I mean, the only game you play against Protoss and you lose, it looks bad on you. So, and of course, that was a set of best of 3, and he lost 33% win there. And you can see he did beat Huck. Or actually, excuse me, lost to Huck in the Code A match, as you can see in his wins down there at the bottom. Ensnare took him out, or I keep saying the wrong backwards thing. He took Ensnare out to get here, so that's how he was able to make it here in the round of 32 at the Super Tournament. All right, so there's a shot of our players now, and here are the maps. The first map is going to be Crossfire Standard Edition, Crevasse with his second map, and set 3 will be on Zelnaga Fortress. Interestingly enough, another Protoss player eliminating Belshire Beach, HongUn deciding to do that. And Dual Sight eliminated for Revival. So interesting map choices there. I think that Belshire Beach is, like I said earlier, I think it's a good map for Protoss. It's got a lot of Protoss architecture, a lot of different choke points. But it's a pretty huge map, and mutas are quite good there as well. So, and part of the problem, I think, with Belshire Beach, a lot of players have eliminated it, and part of that is because it's new, and you see that a lot where players are pretty confident on most of the maps, and they just eliminate the new map because they haven't practiced on it as much. So the countdown has started. We're about to see an awesome PVZ. The first map, like I said, is Crossfire. Who's going to take game 1 here at the GSL Super Tournament? Will it be HongUn? Will it be Revival? Let's find out.
HongUnPrime.WE versus TSL Revival.
All right, up here at the top, our Protoss player on the team, Prime. He is Really good versus Zerg, and also his name is...
HongUnPrime.WE.
This guy's Gatorade in his booth, scratching his nose. And here at the bottom, we have a player on the team TSL, a new up-and-coming player. Can he prove himself at the GSL
Revival.
Super Tournament? He looks really focused. This guy's APM spam going on. Sets it going into the light blue. Some pretty intense APM spamming, from what I've been told. I actually don't have one of those headsets yet. Oh, there's one of our foreign fans. He's from Philly, actually. I just talked to him moments ago. He's a great guy. Really friendly. And you can meet guys like that. If you come to the GSL, you meet foreigners here, talk to them, and super nice guy. So, and also, if you're a foreigner, chances are you'll be on camera, because I love to show foreigners on camera here at the GSL, especially if you bring a cheerful. If you guys don't know what cheerfuls are, they're just those little posters that people hold up. They've got those supplied for you here at the studio. Just grab one, get a marker, write on it. Ooh, this probe trying to take out a drone. Drones do beat probes in a straight-up fight because of their heal regenerate, so you gotta be very careful. But if the probe gets away, shields recharge faster, so it's kind of a micro battle there. But if you try to fight a drone and he's fighting you and you don't micro, the drone will beat you, so you gotta be careful. This is not really the map to fast expand on if you're a Protoss player, so I like HongUn's choice in just playing it safe, walling off, and gonna do a safe expand. And on the same note, it's interesting to see that Revival is going to go for a speedling expand. I actually expected him to try to go hatch first on this map because the rush distance is relatively long and it's really easy to spot pushes coming because the Xel'Naga watchtowers see basically the entire attack routes. You've got Overlord spread up nicely in the middle of the map. It's pretty easy to see attacks coming as well. So I'd have thought he might have wanted to take hatchery first, but playing it safe may be unusual in this case, at least in my opinion, but smart nonetheless. Not a bad choice. And it looks like that probe is going to get taken out because the probe's going to have to turn a little bit. When probes turn, that's when the Zerglings catch him. See, he had to turn. That Zergling almost caught him. Oh! His shields are recharging. He may make it home, actually. Back in HongUn's base, he has taken his second gas. Is actually making a Stalker skip the first Zealot. We actually saw him do this against Moon when he played earlier this week, or it was actually last week, I suppose. He skipped that first Zealot and got the Stalker out first, is what he really likes to do in this matchup, and I kind of like that choice. The problem is, though, sometimes the Zergling gets in your base if you don't have that Stalker out fast enough. It is going to follow it up with a Sentry. Now, the reason he does that is so he can get a faster Nexus out. He doesn't spend that 100 minerals on a Zealot that isn't all that useful right away. And actually, instead of going 1 gate expand, as he's shown us in the past, he's actually going to do 3 gates. He wants to play it safe, and I think the main reason why is because his Zerg opponent scouted what was in his base, and isn't going to be expecting him to have that many gates right away. You might be thinking, oh, HongUn, I know your style. You like to do the really risky Sentry expand with 1 gate and skip the Zealot. But in actuality, HongUn is hiding those other gates. Certainly he's trying to see what they can see chased away. Lair going up. Whoa, that is a fast lair for Revival. Like his lair, he's making that lair before his hatchery is even done. I wonder what he's got planned for that fast lair. Not a normal move at all to get that super fast lair. I mean, I can't even stress how fast the lair is. This Stalker going to get out here in the middle of the map, try to kill a Zergling. Was successful. The other Zerglings got a little bit nervous and ran away. 1 Stalker can kill 3 Zerglings, so smart move on those Zerglings' parts. Alright, so HongUn, Roach Warren. So it looks like he wants to get really good Roach upgrades very quickly. And I like that because HongUn's style, generally speaking, if you go back and watch his PVZs, his style is timing attacks. Oftentimes with a lot of Stalkers, sometimes with Blink Stalkers. And if you're facing up against a timing attack, the best thing to have is super fast Roach Burrow. You have Burrow, your opponent doesn't have an Observer, you can hold it. So, smart choice to get that super fast Roach. And there's Burrow starting up pretty much immediately as the lair finished. He's probably going to get Roach speed to follow it up as well. The Speedlings continuing to try to scout and see what they can see. He wants to make sure he's not doing a fake expand. He's going to 4-gate him because he's kind of cutting units right now, trying to get as many drones out as possible so he can start powering out those upgraded Roaches. Hallucination's almost done for HongUn, so he's going to use that to do a little bit of scouting. Wants to see when the lair's timing was and how many Roaches his opponent's making, if any at all. So he wants to check for. Because that's going to sort of lead him into thinking, okay, well, you got a super fast lair, you're probably going to have Burrow. I don't want to do a timing attack, I just want to play defensively and take a third. Or maybe he wants to get in there and say, well, if you didn't make any roaches at all, maybe I can attack you right now because you don't have that many units. Checked up really quickly, and that's kind of the case right now. There haven't been any roaches in production. Revival just continuing to drone up right now, droning like a madman. He's up to 46 drones already. Didn't get a shot of it, but the hallucinated Phoenix did come in here and see everything at both the natural and the main. Hongun's starting to get a lot more stalkers out. That Forge is finishing up. Hongun really likes to go heavy on the stalkers, get a Twilight Council and start making blink. Likes to control the map with those stalkers. And am I crazy or what? Am I awesome? Am I the best GSL analytical player commentator ever? There's a Twilight Council going down. Hongun, you're predictable. That's actually what it really is. Hongun's so predictable. He does this almost every time. I mean, I'm a good commentator, but if you watch a few Hongun games, you'll pretty much know how they go. And Hongun actually can see with that Phoenix that the creep spread is getting pretty intense as well, so he can't really attack from the upper location without speed roaches kind of controlling that area. Speed roaches on creeper so fast. And actually, it looks like Revival wants to be aggressive with his roaches right away. He's even getting burrowed movement right now, and he may just try to pressure with those roaches until he gets movement. Then once he has movement, I'll try to go in for the kill. Can be very effective. And actually right now, Hongun doesn't have, he only has one cannon. He's going to try to make some more to hold this. This actually might be pretty tough to hold because these roaches do have speed. Your robotics facility isn't done yet. Remember, they all have burrow as well. He's just now starting his blink research. Not sure if Revival should try to go for this, though. Oh, he's hidden some roaches at the top of the ramp. He's going to try to attack from two fronts. But Hongun does have a lot of cannons on the way. Yeah, and it looks like he's going to try to flank. But there's so many stalkers and some good force fields. He doesn't have burrowed movement yet, so he can't avoid those. And there are a lot of cannons. So if Hongun engages this right, oh, nice, traps some of those roaches. Hongun engaging this just right. Even cancels one of those last cannons. Blink not quite done. More and more roaches being cranked out here, though. Roach burrowed movement is just now finishing up. I think he wants to break that pylon so he can try to sneak those burrowed roaches into the main, but the Observer is out now, so to make it much easier to deal with this push, and here it comes! Running forward, now he can dodge force fields if he wants to with that burrowed movement. It's actually not going to burrow any of his roaches, surprisingly. There he goes, burrowing the roaches at the back. Going to pop up and attack now. Nice force fields again instantly from Hongun, and Revival actually losing a lot of supply in roaches here. But all of the cannons have fallen, and Hongun is running out of force field energy. In fact, he has no more energy left for force fields right now. And it looks like Revival going to take advantage of this, even sending Speedlings in now. Blink is done, so he's trying to blink his Stalkers back, but there are so many units, I'm not sure if he can hold this. More reinforcements coming through, and Hongun having such a hard time, and his supply is just plummeting here at this point, losing so many Stalkers. I gotta say, Revival looking like he's in a pretty good spot at this point. He's got twice the supply of his opponent, killing a lot of probes here. The Forge is going to go down if the Robo goes down, as well as the Nexus. Hongun may be in an unwinnable situation pretty soon here. Targeting down Stalkers where he can. He's got so many roaches that if the Stalkers get too close... Oh, gets really close. Tries to target one of the Stalkers down. He wants to hit them before they can blink away. Targeting down the Forge. The Nexus, the Zerglings are going to work on the Nexus. Now he's just going to try to burrow up. Well, every time he burrows, he gets closer and also heals his roaches very quickly. Hongun doing some great blink micro, but no amount of blink micro is going to get him out of this, I don't think. Back at home, Revival has taken bottom right expansion. He's going to start droning that up. Doesn't even need to keep attacking here, but he's going to because he can. Kills the Nexus. It looks like Hongun is going to continue to try to blink his Stalkers back to keep himself alive. They're just taking so much damage, and after a while, once all of your Stalkers are weak, there's just, you can't blink all your weakened Stalkers back if all your weakened Stalkers are all